Solidarity forever, for the union makes us strong.
Educators countrywide under the Belize National Teachers Union filled the UB Gymnasium in Belmopan to listen to opposing perspectives regarding whether Guatemala's long-standing claim over Belize should be filed at the International Court of Justice for adjudication, which will result in a final and binding judgment.
Our primary focus was to educate our members, to give them information so that they can take that back and then help them to make their own decisions. As you know, we've said before that as a union, we would not be giving forth any national position as a union, but we'd have our members do that. So I think that the discussions were quite healthy. They got all sides and they were able to ask their questions and hopefully get answers to all of their questions. As you saw, a few of them didn't seem to be happy with the responses that they got because they didn't feel as if though their questions were answered. But all in all, it was a good session.
Each presenter was allowed 30 minutes to address the gathering of teachers. First to present was Lindsey Belial. He is a former border commissioner whose role today was intended to be an enlightening presenter on the history of the Belize-Guatemala referendum. Belial's presentation, however, contained more than just historical facts.
We go to the latest 2019 legal opinion did not give Belize an ironclad case, but advised that the strength of our case will rely on some key points, some of which are proof of British title to Belize prior to 1821, the effect of the British not meeting her obligation under Article 7 of the 1859 treaty, our efforts in the protesting and defense of Guatemala's aggression in Saskatoon, and the extent of our historical research, not only in the British archive, but also in the Guatemalan and others' archives. So from what I have seen, we have a shaky 1859 treaty and 1861 treaty map, along with a weak 1931 exchange of note, and having no title to Belize before 1821, it will be no walk in the park for Belize at the I.C.J.
Considered the foremost authority on the Guatemalan claim in Belize, Ambassador Assad Schuman, a yes proponent for the I.C.J, was up next. Schuman heads Citizens for the Defense of Sovereignty, an NGO which works in conjunction with GOB in a referendum campaign to secure a yes vote.
The whole question is perfectly understandable to our people. This is not nuclear physics. The people don't need months of so-called education to understand that they are being asked a simple question, yes or no. Do you agree that the Guatemala claim be sent to the I.C.J. for final determination, yes or no? And people don't need MBAs or lawyer degree to understand that because international law states that once a border is established by treaty, it takes on a life of its own and cannot be changed, then Belize cannot lose any territory. People are smarter, much smarter than you think. Of course, yes, if you purposely muddy the waters, tell blatant lies about what international law and I.C.J. cases actually decide, if you use all sorts of tricks to confuse and frighten people, sometimes all you have to do is repeat 1,000 times, no to the I.C.J. Or you could lose your land and house and you will fool some people. Some people, I say. It has been said, you can fool some of the people all of the time. And you can fool all of the people some of the time. But you can't fool all of the people all of the time.
The third and final presenter was attorney and activist Audra Mathura. Mathura is a strong and very vocal opponent of the I.C.J. Mathura attacked the education campaign, describing it as flawed and completely biased in favor of the yes vote.
I do not believe that I will tell you how to vote either. I can tell you how I am voting and why. But I have a problem with people telling you to vote yes or no. I genuinely have a problem with that. And I have a problem with there being an educational campaign turned into a yes vote campaign. But it's a national issue that should engender unity. It's a national issue that should drive us with a certain psychology and certain mentality, a win mentality that we would fight till the end. But they say, who want to take the first bullet? Well, not that they don't take the bullet on the streets. So I don't know why I want to reach the bullet this far. Clearly, Belizeans not afraid of bullet. But that's what they say when they want to throw a red herring. Because I go back to the fact that they said it's a referendum. A referendum means you have a choice. Your choice could be yes, your choice could be no.
When all three panelists had concluded their half-hour presentations, the teachers, armed with questions and criticism, faced off with the panel.
I want you to tell me how we are going to contain Guatemala and stop them from bullying us. I want you to know how they will respect the verdict. I want to know that. Because Guatemala does not respect any OAS, they don't respect the United Nations, how the hell you think they will respect that verdict? Ask the people who are yes, ask them if their assets are in Belize only or they live in another country. Ask them that question. Are you ready to live in another country? No. So I'm not ready. I am staying. No. So you answer to this question. You convince these people that Guatemala will respect the verdict, and I will be very happy. Do that for me, please. All right? Thank you very much.
What other recourse does Belize have, apart from the I.C.J., to resolve this matter in a way that Guatemala will respect?
Okay. I don't think that anybody is saying that the I.C.J. is not the way to go. It's the way you are going to the I.C.J. Right? Not that the I.C.J. is not a good court.
I understand. So my question was, if we don't go, or apart from the I.C.J., what other way can we resolve this? That's my question.
My answer is that we go to the I.C.J. for an advisory opinion on the validity of the 1859 treaty. And when the I.C.J. rules that the treaty is valid, then Guatemala would be foolish to want to take the court to the same court that said that the treaty is
so
not
just
valid.
to get this straight, you still want to go to the I.C.J.?
Yes, we are not saying the I.C.J.
Okay,
is not
cool.
good.
But that was not my question, though. Apart from the I.C.J.
I don't have any other place to go.
Do you think that it would be prudent of us Belizeans to say that we need to defer the referendum until we get 1, 2, or 3 Belizean lawyers trained in international law so that we can have confidence in what is going to be the pronouncement at the end?
That might take 10, 20, 30 years. What would happen in the meantime, I don't know, but it's like, like you have a case of a person that requires heart surgery. And then you say, well, do we have a Belizean who is qualified heart surgeon? No. Well, then let's wait until we can train some Belizeans, perform, practice a few, and then we'll submit that person to heart surgery. Well, I don't mind. Some people think that.
Let me help you out there. I won't be as facetious. If we're going to the I.C.J. now, it wouldn't be practical. There's nothing wrong with getting foreign attorneys to represent us or firms. My point is that we should meet them, we should know more about them, and if we're not satisfied with their legal services, we should fire them like anyone else. However, having said that, I do decry the fact that from independence we knew that we've inherited this claim. We've sent the daughters and sons of good politicians to be attorneys. We've given them scholarships fully paid. But we've never prepared ourselves saying, knowing that this claim is coming, we should have also sent our people to train in that area.
Hipólito Novello, News 5.